Kadosh Boker Tov. Just wanted to share with the Kal the Siman Tzadichet, a very important Siman which says as follows in Shulchan Aruch: Hamitpalel tzarich sheyichavem belibo pirush hamilot shemotzi bisfatav. A person that's praying, he has to pay attention. He has to put his concentration in his heart on the explanation of the words that he's taking out of his mouth. V'yachshov ki'ilu shechina kenegdo. He has to think that the Shekhinah is in front of him. V'yasir kol hamachshavot otordot oto, and he has to remove any types of thoughts which are bothering him. Ad shetishael machshavto v'kavanato zaka betfilato, until his machshava, his mind, and his intention, his concentration is very, very pure in the tefillah. V'yachshov ki'ilu haya medaber lifnei melech basav adam. Imagine right now he's got an appointment with a king, which is a human being. Haya mesader dvarav. Obviously he would come and he would do a recital, and he would actually prepare himself, a rehearsal to come and to prepare to have kavanah yafeh leval yikashel, in order not to make any mistakes. Kal v'chomer, all the more so, lifnei melech malchem lachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in front of the King of Kings, the Almighty, shu choker kol machshavot, that he knows what our mind is, what our intentions, and what we're thinking, what our thoughts are. V'kach hayu osim chasidim v'anshe ma'aseh, and that's why the chasidim and the anshe ma'aseh used to do. Shayu mitbodedim mechavnim betfilatam, they used to have a kavanah in their tefillah, right? And then it says over here, Ad shiyu megiim lipashtur gashmiyut, until they would completely remove themselves. They would come up to such a level of almost prophecy. If they'd come and they have another machshava, so then they're going to remove them. So let's just try to dissect the Shulchan Aruch piece by piece. When it's speaking about now the Pirush Hamilot, the Kav HaChaim actually brings down in the name of the Zohar HaKadosh that every single word that we say that comes out of our mouths goes up above to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But that's only if it was said b'chavanah. That's only if it was said with the proper concentration, right? Then it goes in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But if not, then it doesn't. We did speak about it another time, if you remember, that all of a sudden it waits until another tefillah comes, and then that one which was said b'chavanah then brings that one also up. But now he also says in the Kav HaChaim that a person has to be very careful also in the words and in the nikudot to say them properly, and not to come and to lack whichever one that it is, because every single letter is actually, there's a whole bunch of upper worlds which is paying attention, which have to do with that letter. So therefore, not even to lose one letter in the tefillah, which means every single part of the tefillah, every single word is very, very important. A beautiful etzah, a beautiful advice in order to remember this. He says, the Ben Ish Chai comes and he says, is that a person should actually pay attention to Tzurat HaOtiyot. Remember that according to the Kabbalah, right, there's a whole thing that usually when you're saying the Amidah, you're saying it with your eyes closed. So if you're saying it with your eyes closed, you're not using a Sidur in front of you, even though we are posek that you could use a Sidur, as long as it's going to help you the concentration. But the Arizal HaKadosh used to have his eyes closed throughout the entire Amidah. So therefore, it says the Ben Ish Chai, in order to have concentration, what should you do? You should actually be mitzayer, you should actually form a vision in your mind that you're having it of the actual letters, of every single letter. When you're saying a word, you have the word which is right written in front of you. And by doing that, you're going to have, obviously, much more concentration. Here he quotes in the Ora Mizrach, he quotes the Or Letzion, but if you remember, many times we brought it from the Mishnah Brura, that here, the Or Letzion also brings down that in front, before every single beracha, you should just pay attention to what the beracha you're going to start, what it's talking about. So that's why if you pay attention in the Patach Eliyahu and other Sidurim, on the right side, it actually tells you, this is Birkat Hadat, or Birkat Parnasah. And all of a sudden, you know, the second you say Parnasah, it's a key word, right? All of a sudden, people pay attention to Barech Alenu, Barechenu, right? The second that they say that. Or many things like that, Birkat Teshuvah. Why? Because once you see that beforehand, now you trigger in your mind that you want, whether it's going to be Teshuvah, whether it's going to be Selicha, or an atonement, whatever it is that you need, and all of a sudden now you're going to have more concentration. So here it's also an Or Letzion, even though it's the Ben Ish Chai already brings us down as well. Now the last thing I just wanted to mention is very important, which says, ואל יכוון האדם בשמות וייחודים רק יתפלל כפשוטו, להבין הדברים בכוונת הלב. אם לא מישהו בא בסוד השם יודע לכוון בזה, בליבה ורותה דחילו. So he comes and he says like this, a person should come and realize that what are they supposed to be thinking? So Maran already just brought down Pirush Hamilim. What does that mean? The simple explanation of the words. That's all that it is. But he does bring down that obviously a person shouldn't come and start thinking about other names and other things unless he's on that level of the Kabbalah. So here he says that the Ben Ish Chai brings on the Shutra Palim, that a person that comes and just thinks about the regular Kavanah, but he's having a proper concentration. So then Mishamayim, they're going to complete all the other Kavanot in order to fill the words. Which means that a person might think, listen, if I'm not going to come and start thinking about all the different names of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right, and I'm going to take, let's say, Sidur Rashash, and I've got there, 20 different names just for one word, and I continue, so then I'm not really praying. It's not true. Why? Because when a person comes and they're going to have the proper concentration tefillah, that in itself, mina shamayim, they come and they will fulfill all the rest. However, though, if a person is going to come and is going to do it and he's not yet ready for it, so then it could come out something negative. Why? Because he says that even if a person does have a sidur of the kavanot arizal, the Ben Ish Chai brings down in the Rav Pa'alim, it's not considered that he knows how to have kavanah, because the majority of the kavanot were given over balpeh, and they weren't given over written down. So therefore he comes only somebody that learns Chokhmat Kabbalah Biyun and V'Torat Chesed, that's a Umurato. So then he's a Musmach, from somebody Musmach, then he's going to understand all the other, whether it's going to be names or Al-Piyah Kabbalah or things like that. So therefore a person should just be as simple as possible to come and to have the regular Kavanah of the words, and then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will come and he'll fulfill all the rest when he's doing the Tefillah.